A few days ago, I decided I wanted to ask the universe some questions, and the method that I used was the pendulum, my crystal ball pendulum, and a Bible. That's the method. And I was asking questions using the word husband, because I mean, for you guys who already know, my husband is not here. He's in Ghana, and we are like on a twin flame journey. So that's like some real difficult issues that we have to deal with, like not normal type shit. So yeah, from time to time you want to know certain things, right? Because your partner is so far away from you, long distance relationship and all. And people are not honest, and then sometimes, like, naturally we are not fucking honest. And sometimes you might just want to know things without having to just ask your partner, and you might find out certain things that you just keep it to yourself, and you just like whatever, because I understand we in a long distance relationship for years now. So people gotta do what the fuck they gotta do to survive, right? Given understanding, you're not gonna trip about certain things. You might ask tarot cards, or you might ask a psychic or a medium or whatever, or you might dream some shit in a dream, and you're just like, damn, if it's not something that's threatening your life, or if it's not some like real dirty type shit, if it's just regular life shit, like, oh, your partner they fucking somebody, and they lying about fucking, they're like, oh, I ain't fucking, I'm not having sex. When you can feel that shit, you got your ways of finding out, but you just like, so what? I mean, that ain't shit, fucking ain't shit. But let me just talk about my husband, how he is. Like, he doesn't even want to think about me being sexually active with somebody else. That alone make him so crazy and jealous, and he have no tolerance, no understanding whatsoever for that. Me, on the other hand, I have tons of understanding and tolerance for that with him. He claims he's not fucking, but of course I don't fucking believe that shit, and it's like fucking whatever, but it's 7 years for he and I now, and still till today he swear, like, whenever I come to Ghana, which is like once a year, or sometimes it's been like 2 years past and I haven't even made it there, and he swear he ain't fucking a goat or a watermelon or something, or his maid. That girl got a fine piece of ass. He talking about, oh, she just a little girl. The girl about 24 years old. She just a little girl, my ass. Anyways, whatever for that. Now, here's the thing, back to the real subject. When I asked the question using the pendulum and the Bible method, and I used the word husband, does my husband love me? Does my husband truly love me? Is my husband in love with me? Is my husband having sex with another woman besides me? Does my husband have another wife beside me? My husband, my husband, my husband. I will get some freaky ass answers that I know that's not about him. So this was like a couple days ago. I'm also divorced. Like, I was married before to a motherfucking Alejandro type nigga. Alejandro, don't call my name, Alejandro. And what's her name, Lady Gaga came out with that song the same fucking year I met Alejandro, and my stepbrother and people would be singing that, Alejandro, I don't want your touch, I don't want you. And I never got it. Like, I was so dumb. That was what, 10 years ago or more. But anyhow, I was so dumb. Anyhow, so I am divorced from Alejandro, and that was my first ever marriage, right? So I learned that the universe does not recognize or consider my husband now my husband. So whenever I would ask the question, and used the word husband, I was getting answers referring to my ex-husband. So one of the questions that made me say, something's really not right here, when I said, is my husband, does my husband have a wife besides me? And it says yes. And I'm like, a few more questions, and I'm like, no, I know my husband doesn't. And I know a lot of people would say I might be naive because he's way in another country or whatever, but sometimes you just know, you know. And so I'm like, anyhow, it was that I was just getting answers referring to my ex-husband, that my ex-husband is the one that's considered my husband in the spiritual realm, and in the when it come on to just asking Mother Nature questions from that side, you know. So then I was like, okay, well then Jalal, oops, I shouldn't want to say his name, my husband. I was just about to say his whole name. So then I started to say his name, and then the answers I was getting was correct and pertaining to him. And so then I'm like, okay, I'm going to say Joe Blow. So I'm like, okay, universe, well, if Joe Blow is not considered my husband, what is he considered to be? You know, but you know, you can't ask the question like that. It has to be like a yes or no, in a yes or no way. So the pendulum can either swing this way for yes or swing that way for no, or it goes around in this circle. And so when I asked, is this person Joe Blow considered my twin flame? Oh my God, the answer, I got a yes and a no. Constantly a yes and a no, where the pendulum will first swing yes, and then it'll go in a round circle, counterclockwise, then it'll go clockwise, then counterclockwise, and then horizontal, diagonal, clockwise, counterclock, and the damn pendulum was all over the place, like this, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. I'm like, what the hell? So there's questions I would ask, like, does Joe Blow have any children? And I know in real life, my current husband doesn't have any children. So I would ask, and it says, no, he doesn't have any children. Is Joe Blow having sex currently right now with someone? And it is saying no. And so most of the answers was like straight up yes and no answers. Straight up yes and no answers. But when it came on to, okay, then if he's not considered my husband, is he considered my twin flame? And once again, that shit was like yes, no, yes, no. And I'm just sitting there looking like, wow. Okay, so I just wonder, what is he considered, you know? And my heart says, now, I just, you know, put down the whole pendulum and the Bible thing and just was like, okay, let me just let it rest. You can always let it rest and come back again another day. So in my heart, laying down, going to bed, I say, he is my love. He's my lover. He's my love. He's my love. Yeah. And sometimes in life, we don't marry our love, you know, unfortunately. And sometimes it's not even an unfortunate thing. Like, I know this one lady, Jody, a friend of mine, and her twin is in India, and she's not married to her love, you know. She's married with someone else and have a child with someone else, and still is married and have her husband, but she also have her twin, which they are like, they look just alike. She and that man look just alike. They act just alike. They dress just alike. And they've been knowing each other and been loving each other for aeons. They say the same kind of shit. They're like, they're lovers. They are true lovers. And get to marry our love. Me, on the other hand, I got to marry mine. My twin flame is my husband. I just don't understand why he wouldn't be considered my husband in the spiritual realm, or in the in as far as nature is concerned. Like, you know, I always go to the ocean, and I go under the ocean, and I speak with the ocean. I speak with the ocean about my relationship with him. I beg the ocean for mercy. I speak with the trees in the woods. When I go to Africa, I walk barefoot in the dirt, and I connect with nature, and I speak with nature about him more than anything. You know, and nature speak back to me about him, but I always use his name. You know, I never refer to him as my husband until a few days ago. You know, I referred to him, calling him, saying my husband when I was doing the pendulum thing, and it was just like no, not your husband. Not your husband. So I can't make much sense out of all of this, not yet, you know, but it's a learning process. It's a learning journey of learning. I thought it was interesting, though, very interesting to me, that yeah, like, he's my husband. I'm married to him now. I'm divorced from my other husband. And oh, with the pendulum thing too, when I had asked in my ignorance, talking about my recent husband, when I asked if my husband have a wife, and it says yes, and then later on when I figure out, oh, you're talking about Alejandro, I'm like, okay, so is my husband remarried? And the thing was like, yes, your husband is remarried. I didn't even know my ex-husband Alejandro is remarried. I didn't even know, but I heard it kind of through the grapevine through my little son, you know, but I didn't think it was true. I just thought they were saying that because he's with that woman now or whatever. But I looked at their pictures on Facebook, and them motherfuckers got rings and shit on their finger. But you know, sometimes people put rings and things on their fingers, but they not really married, you know. I hope y'all can hear me, cause yeah, so that's it for that. So in a nutshell, my twin flame, which is my husband currently, is not considered my husband in another realm or by nature. I'm about to go outside and ask a coconut tree, what's up with that? Touch. Peace out.